Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I just want to reiterate things I've said in the past about bass guitar. The bass guitar sound and the performance matters a lot in any mix, especially in metal. It's got to be slamming. So you've got great riffs, you've got a great song with fantastic drums as well. And the bass, I know for a few of you guys, is like an afterthought. It's a bit of a nuisance. It's just something you have to do to get the song done. But you guys really shouldn't think of it like that. You should think of it as an opportunity to really put the cherry on top of the cake. So I've got a quick tune here. It's about a minute long. It's a nu metal-y, groove metal type thing. And it just proves my point. The bass is where the thunder comes from. So if I play this intro again, just this first few seconds. When the drums start on the main beat, they start with the bass as well, and the second guitar comes in and it gives it real impact. And if I turn the bass off, it's very different. As you can hear, guys, all the heft, all the thunder, all the meat is gone. The only bit of low end you're getting is from the kick. And the kick will not handle all the low end by itself, unless you're doing like 250 BPM double kicks on a death metal song or something like that. The bass guitar needs to be there. It needs to have the fundamental low end locked in, and it needs to be present in the mix. So I'll just show you the chain I use. I'll just solo it out so you can just hear the bass by itself. You know, it's a bit of a gnarly tone. It's a very deep, thunderous, like subby bass guitar low end. And I do things a little bit differently than other people. I do use 2 tracks. So I'll just show you the main bass track. This is the main chain. And the bass I use is a Squier Jaguar bass from about 12 years ago. It's a cheap bass. It was like 200 quid at the time. All stock. It does have an active circuit. I've got that off. It's a PJ setup. I'm using both pickups, all the tones all the way up, the volume's all the way up on the pickups. New strings, any balls. I think it's a 125 on the bottom. I really love that bass. It sounds great. And I'm going through a completely free chain. Both of these chains are free. This is a BOD by TSE. I use it all the time. You guys, if you see my mix breakdowns, you'll see that I use this pretty much exclusively. There's other chains I've used for things here and there, but I always go back to BOD. This is home base. I love this thing, and it's set like this. It just has a great sound to it. EQ, I'm scooping the hell out of it. Here's my settings. At the high end, I don't like to high pass or low pass the bass. I've tried that in the past, and it just doesn't give me the sound I like. So I'm shelving either side. So I'm shelving the highs, just reducing them a bit at 5K. And I'm shelving the lows, not a massive severe cut, but just by like 5 odd dB at 81 Hertz, just to kind of keep it out of the subby range of the kick drum. But the thing is with the low end, as long as your levels are all right, as long as the kick drum is punching through really well, you know, they shouldn't interrupt each other that much. As long as you've got, you know, decent sounds in the first place, you should be fine. And then a compressor, I'm only reducing, you know, up to about 2 or 3 dB. That's all it's doing, because BOD, or BOD, controls the dynamics really well. It's quite surprising. It just does so much of the work for you. And then the parallel track, I bring this up underneath the main track. It's a guitar Sans Amp copy. It's a No Amp by Mockafix. This is 32-bit only, and I think it's Windows only. But again, this is just a British style distortion. You know, I've got it on British there, high gain, center mic, you know, it's the typical Sans Amp thing. I've got a fair bit of drive, no low end, and not much high end really. You can definitely mess with this thing and get it to sound a little bit more zingy. I don't think it'll ever sound like a Dark Glass thing, but I'm not really going for that Dark Glass sound. EQ, I'm EQing it kind of the opposite to the other tracks. So I've got no bass, no highs, like all the mids, and I'm not scooping it really. I'm just taking care of some of the cloudy frequencies around 300. I've left most of the mids alone. This brings out the voice of the bass, and it's nice to mix this in parallel. And a compressor, this is pretty much not doing anything at all really. It's just there as a safety net to catch some of the louder hits. So this is the first track by itself. Then if you mix in the distorted track, it sounds like an absolute mess, but in the mix it really works. But just go to a chuggy part. If you take the bass away, all the power kind of just disappears. Bring the bass back in. I'll turn the distorted track off. That brings the thunder, and I put on the distorted track. You get that clanky kind of gong, gong, gong sound I really love out the bass guitar. One of my favorite bass tones from back in the day, I know everybody hates them, but they've got fantastic production, is the bass tone on The Long Road by Nickelback. Just check out the bass guitar on Flat on the Floor. It's the opening to the album. It sounds fantastic. So that's about it, guys. Make sure your bass tracks, whatever you use, even if it's a virtual instrument bass, make sure you think about the performance. Make sure you put the time in, make your mixes as thunderous as you can. Thanks for watching, guys, I really appreciate it, and subscribe if you want to see more metal related stuff. I'll be back sometime with a video on something else, so until then, ciao.